This is from Harraga by the Algerian novelist Boualem Sansal. It was published by Bloomsbury. Harraga refers to those people who try to flee Algeria by any means, especially during the 1990s, during the Black Decade. It's the story of Lamia, a middle-aged woman who is never married, is a professional, lives on her own, and the sudden irruption into her life of a girl that she never knew. My door is making a worrying sound. It doesn't go knock knock, it goes bang bang. It is reinforced steel, which I suppose might explain the racket, but with things the way they are these days, I can't help but think of other reasons. I open it, staying pressed to the door jamb for protection. A reflex. Shkun, who's there? It's not the patrol, it's not some sermonizer nor the defenders of truth. It's not my neighbour from the Rue Marengo, a chubby-faced old gorgon of a woman who's forever popping round to gossip and believes in 100 cliched conspiracy theories, none of which are particularly interesting. Thankfully, it's not old Moussa, our postman, the fearless factotum of the Romp Valley, an old warhouse who's constantly banging on about something and who, day after day, accepting riots and strikes, leaves a paper trail of panic and contagion in his wake. No, it's some funny-looking slip of a girl. It's me, she says. I have no idea who me is. Skinny, dressed in a get-up cobbled together from shreds and patches that looks like something off X Factor. Whether it's a fashion faux pas or a flash of inspiration, all these flounces and frills make it look like a drag outfit from a family of screaming queens. She could probably pull it off were it not for the clashing colours. Her hair is a mix and match of everything from historic styles to the latest fashion. Her face is plastered with makeup. Her eyes, black, white and twinkling, are bobbing in pools of eyeshadow, surrounded by a lush meadow of green. All she needs is a blade of wheat behind her ear to know that she comes from the back end of nowhere. The acrid cloud of her perfume would rival the fallout from Chernobyl. She's a walking scandal who has somehow inexplicably escaped the wrath of Allah. A battered holdall lies at her feet like a recently shed snakeskin. Contemplating the look of this 16 or 17-year-old globetrotter, her full, perfect lips are set in a blood-red pout, pitched somewhere between impatience and bewilderment. It's clear that behind her regal smile she's got some nerve. And to cap it all, she's several months pregnant and her belly button is on display for all the world to see. Tata Lamia, she says bravely, drawing herself up to her full 5 feet nothing. Well, that depends. It's Sherifa. Good for you. And Soufiane sent me. I've come from Moran. What? He didn't phone you? No. Can I come in? I suppose. Thanks. You're welcome. It's really weird, your place. You said it. This is how a whirlwind sweeps into my life. Nothing, absolutely nothing in my past led me to suppose that one day I would open up my door, open up my life to such mayhem. I open the door because that's what you do when someone knocks. You answer. You might worry that it'll be some hoodlum, and Lord knows the neighbourhood has its fair share of thugs, or more likely a sermonizer, a rapist, or the cops, and you're thinking, these people have got no consideration, no manners. But to set your mind at rest, and perhaps even in some surge of hope, you open the door anyway, thinking that maybe this is the promised miracle. Maybe this is fate bringing the good things we're told come to those who wait. You think of all the happy things a gloomy life conjures in the mind. There's also the premonition, the primal impulse, the subtle power of things unseen, the call of another world, the sudden longing to brave the mystery. All these things urge on more powerful than fear holds back. Truth be told, I just opened the door without thinking. What can I say? I'm an impulsive woman. Maybe not entirely without thinking. I've never given up hope that I might see my little brother again. Might hear him knock at my door. Every sound rekindles that hope. It's a constant torment. I know that Soufiane is gone. I know that he's never coming back. A good upbringing is a terrible handicap. You end up being a well-bred little chick in a nest filled with cuckoos. One polite gesture led to another. I offered this interloper a glass of lemonade, then some supper, an egg and an orange. and stoically I listened all ears to her endless babble. Could I refuse her a bed for the night? The duty of hospitality does not stop at the bedroom door. As it turned out, she didn't wait to be asked. She was already clearing the table, and the cheeky little thing had put on her nightie. What could I do? I gave her a pillow and some clean sheets. I favoured her with a sing-song "Good night," something she took as an invitation. She laughed so hard and talked so much about this and that, about everything and nothing, about rhyme music, about les chebs, about things that even Scheherazade, that incomparable insomniac, never told of in her tales. And the moment she opened her mouth, I was completely lost. In all honesty, I wasn't really listening, though. Out of politeness, I feigned interest. Her shrill falsetto irritated me. I thought about Louisa. My gentle, sweet Louisa, God, how I miss her. About what had become of all our promises. 3 a.m. and the night drags on. The old clock that stands sentry in the hall hasn't chimed since its first owner died. Something I can relate to, but it still clanks and grates at regular intervals out of habit. 3 times it struggled bravely to tell the passing hour. The endless witterings of the damsel grew fainter until it was just a vague cloud hovering above our heads. Then it faded into the ether. In this silence, this true mineral silence, the house began to give voice to its aches and pains, to creaks and groans fit to rouse a poltergeist. We'd reached that hour that does not truly belong to us, where only a silver thread connects soul to body. At last she fell asleep, sinking down into the sofa and the multicoloured cushions. She slumped back, arms folded, mouth wide open, to say nothing of her legs, leaving my head still spinning with her twaddle. Sprawled there as she was, she might have appeared indecent if she weren't so innocent. In sleep, she looked every bit as outlandish as she did awake, and it was clear to me that hers was a world very different from the one in which we live, a world of fairies and Prince Charmings in which everyone else, the supporting cast, the minor players, the evil witches, the wicked stepmothers, exist only so they can be foiled by the good, by the dreamers.